Hi everyone and welcome to the second episode of Spark, special program of Arun's Academy to relearn from conversations. Thank you for a great response for the first episode with Major Vikrant Khare. Let me now give you a brief introduction of our today's special guest. He is an expert in handwriting analysis with a strong background of NLP, counseling, and industrial psychology. He has analyzed handwriting of many people, including celebrities like Sushant Singh Rajput. He is on a mission to do 10,000 handwriting analysis, and we wish him all the best for that. It's my pleasure to welcome the founder of Handwriting International, Devanshu Vallabh. Wish you a warm welcome, Devanshu, to our show.
Yeah, thank you, Arun. Glad to be here.
First question for you, Devanshu. Can you tell us a little more about yourself? About your background, education, how did you end up in graphology?
Okay, so I was born in '89 in Ranchi, same locality as MS Dhoni. I did my schooling in Bangalore from '94 onwards. So my UKG first standard onwards was from KVDRDO, and I did my engineering briefly, and then shifted to journalism, bachelor's in journalism, psychology, English, with counseling and industrial psychology. So here I uh, got a certification in handwriting analysis, and it's a very interesting story how I got into handwriting analysis, and because I'm a very skeptical person, I don't easily agree with anything, and so handwriting analysis, my dad was first into it, and I mean he did a workshop, and so when he bought those books on handwriting analysis, me and my mother, laughed because my dad is a scientist in DRDO, and he likes to read a lot. So when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of books that he used to buy. And so I equated handwriting analysis like most people do, like palmistry, astrology, handwriting analysis. It's very easy to align all these three together to one. But I had no interest in handwriting analysis in the beginning. But what happened was an incident actually changed everything. No, in my summer holidays, I used to travel to Ranchi, and that time flights were expensive. So here, what I learned uh, was that if you're going to spend 3 days, at least you should have a book because it's very easily to get bored once you bored. So I used to get novels which were interesting, Harry Potter, and many other books that were there. Last minute, what happened was I couldn't go and buy a novel. So I was trying to search for any book, and this thick book on handwriting analysis was there on my dad's computer table. So last minute, I had to take that book. And so I read it on the journey. I didn't just out of like curiosity, and then during the 30 days I uh, s- no, started to analyze my own writing first, and then I made some changes also which were recommended. So I mean, after a week or so, I could feel certain changes in myself. My confidence, how I felt about myself improved. Then I got more interested in handwriting analysis, and used to analyze my friends in college, especially girls, and all took an interest in that. And then I got my certification also in handwriting analysis from US. So this was a bit about my journey, and so it was more of a hobby. Like we used to be about 5, 10 like really serious people, and during Republic Day and Independence Day in Lal Bagh, we used to analyze. So always I used to be like second behind a girl. She used to analyze about close to 80, 90 handwritings in one day. I used to do about 70, 80 handwritings. I had a natural gift towards handwriting and human behavior and understanding people. This is what I learned, and the turning point was mainly in 2014. there was a national camp for Indian women's cricket team. So my coach is also the coach of Robin Uttappa, Manish Pandey, and Mayank Agarwal. So he introduced me to the national women's team, and he said, "What did you do, after cricket?" Because I was in under 19 as a cricketer. So I said I am into psychology. I did my degree and went to handwriting analysis. So he said, analyze my writing. So I analyzed his writing. He saw the potential in it, and then he said, "No, do it for this Indian women team." So I analyzed the Indian women's captain at that point of time before Mithali Raj and some of the top Indian women cricketers, and then they gave a really good feedback. And from there, I got a referral to analyze and work with the Karnataka state level A division just before Ranji. So I analyzed Ranji level players, worked with them, and they won the championship that year. After that, I moved on to corporate and analysis individual. So about 4,000 plus handwritings I've done out of 10,000. So there's a long journey to go for that. And 2 years back in 2018 on National Handwriting Day, or they call it World Handwriting Day also. So I got featured in News 9. And towards this, about a week back, I was featured in News Nation, and done a huge range of radio programs more than TV. I like radio. So with Fever 104, Radio Mirchi, Radio 1, and Red FM. So been featured in media across as a handwriting expert. And in this Sushant's case, they asked me to analyze his writing just before his attempted whatever the case over 5 years. So yeah, it was a very interesting analysis of his handwriting, how he was as a person. So I could use my skills to understand a person's mindset. So that was a very interesting. Yeah.
Next question for you. So, what are the key things analyzed in handwriting?
Key things in handwriting is, see, handwriting, if you have to understand, is it comes from the subconscious mind, because everyone's handwriting is a little different from each other, and two handwritings being the same is 1 to 8 trillion. So there is highly, that's why a lot of times the courts are using handwriting experts or question document experts to analyze people's. No, you can't forge a handwriting, almost impossible to forge a handwriting this one, because the pressure, the slant, everything, it's very unique. The key things what we see is in terms of your thought process which is present at the moment, what are the issues that are underlying in your past, and your key traits, if I have to say, what are the qualities, whether it is good qualities or defenses that you have to avoid feeling negative emotions. And there are certain areas where we all can improve. Those areas are there. And yeah, your communication, so many other things are there, about 300 plus things that you can understand from your handwriting.
All right. No, my question was, in the handwriting, what do you see to analyze these things? I got, there are many things you can tell about a person, but what are those items which you see in the handwriting? Is it the pressure, as you said? One thing I got from your answer is the pressure with which the person writes, things like that.
Okay, so we have your slant, your pressure, your size of your writing, individual letters that you have in your writing, and each formation of each letter, like what type of A you're making, what type of O. So everyone has got a little different. Then we come to how much space you're using on the paper, what sort of orientation is there where your writing is going up, going down, spacing between words. There's so many things that we see. Your rhythm. So there are two schools that are there, which is one is we look at individual letters to analyze the writing. One is we see the quality of the writing, whether it is rhythmic or no. We don't see individual letters. So there's the French school of handwriting analysis, which I use mostly, and there's a German school which looks at only the quality of the writing as a whole, okay, instead of individual pieces.
See, most of the graphologists or the handwriting analysts I have seen, they are doing the English handwriting analysis. So what about other languages? Because
Correct.
if you check in Kannada, the style of writing is entirely different.
See, where you can, I mean, the French school is basically the letters that you're seeing. So mostly why people use English while writing is it becomes much more easier to analyze. If you're going to write in different languages, there are specific experts on languages as a handwriting analyst. So you take country of Israel, they have experts on Hebrew that analyze handwriting and analyze that. There are experts in France who analyze in French and English match also. So that shouldn't be a problem. And so there you can, if you're looking at different languages, then you have to use a German method where how much spacing you're using, quality of writing, pressure. You have a individual, someone who is putting pressure and writing in Kannada or and English, that would be the same. How much space they are using on the paper, that would be the same. Space between individual letters would be the same. So you can tell a few things, but you can't tell many things as much. So English is the best medium for analysis. Yeah.
So what about people who are illiterates, let's say? So they, someone is there who cannot write in any language. Are there things like drawings or sketches or the lines they make which can be analyzed?
Yeah. So there is doodle analysis, drawing analysis that are there to analyze. Then in psychology we have got Rorschach's method, and then you've got many personality tests which are converted into different languages and different demographics. So yeah, there are many other things that are there. So handwriting analysis is one subset of psychology and personality tests, if you would say.
Tell us a little more about the connection between writing and personality of an individual. Now, if you can take some examples of anyone, if you can take and explain, it will be much better.
I'll take Ramesh Arvind's handwriting. We can see he's written about on Ganesh Chaturthi. I think I've shared that with you. So if you see his writing overall, the writing is really good. I mean, if you see the writing as a whole and it's straight. So he's a logical person and he's very intuitive as a person, because so he not only goes by what he feels by his gut feeling also, and he's got a lot of discipline and self control over himself, because his writing is almost as though someone has put a line under his writing. So that's a very rare thing. That amount of self discipline, self control is very rare. So you see that in very successful people. And there's a high amount of optimism that is there in his writing. And he's also very future oriented, and he wants to move forward. That's what I would say. And he always keeps planning. He's very realistic about his goals. So if he has to, he always thinks what I have to do next, this I have to do next. And he is very self-sufficient as a person. Like, he always likes to do things by himself than depend on others. So yeah, there's a bit about him. Akshay Kumar, that's his birthday, I think. with Ramesh Arvind on 9. So I'll analyze Akshay's childhood handwriting because we're not able to find his recent handwriting with, I mean, signature is also there, which we can analyze. Akshay Kumar, as a kid, he was very much into himself, and he was someone who was very highly competitive as a person, and he had a lot of determination. I mean, he would take something, and he used to really finish that, and along with the high intuition. So uh, I mean, he used to always go by what he feels than what he used to think. So anything someone says, he will not listen to. He'll go by what he feels. So
Now that's what you're telling about Akshay Kumar when he was young. That might have changed by now, right? If you get a new handwriting of Akshay Kumar, it will be quite different, is what I think.
yeah, definitely. So I did not find his recent handwriting. Someone can share that with me. That will be good. His signature analysis can be done.
Tell me two or three things. What you felt about my handwriting. It can be anything. I would love to hear more areas of improvement, to be honest with you. Okay. And because many audience might have met me, might have seen me, it will be more instead of a celebrity, they're thinking of a person whom they have already met and seen.
From my analysis of your handwriting, you're a people's person, but you're not completely. You also combine reason with your outgoing nature, and I would say that you've got good leadership qualities because you can relate to a lot of different people, whether that person is very outgoing or very quiet, different sort of people, and you really understand the pain of people. You're sensitive to other people's feelings and other people's cultures and different ideas, and also that's a very good thing to have. And along with that, you are deeply emotional and passionate as a person, so you're very specific on what you like and what you dislike. So in a restaurant, you are very clear that, no, this is what I like. You'll order maybe masala dosa, or your friends might be thinking, but you're very clear, no, this is what I want, this is what I don't like. So specific colors you like, specific colors, certain things, places. So any one you meet, you remember them, like where you met them, this person did this, or you go to a place, you remember, I came here maybe 5-10 years ago with this person. So any emotional incident or anything that has a deep impression on you for a very long period of time.
I mean, I don't understand. This is, I don't know, many people who would know me would 100% agree with what you're saying. Can you please tell me what are the things you saw to tell these things? What are those small things in my handwriting which you observed?
What I see is that you put a lot of pressure when you write, and you've got a lot of loops in your handwriting, and you've slant is about 125 to 135 degrees. Yeah. So no, there's certain things there. There are like hundreds other things that are there. So this is what I got from, which are major qualities that you have.
But man, this is very, very accurate, is what I can say, at least because I don't know that that much about Akshay or Ramesh Arvind, but I know about myself. Most of the things you have said
Yeah.
is right. Can you give some areas
Okay.
of improvement from what you have seen?
Generally, I don't like to give out areas of improvement.
No, I usually say I'm an open book. Talk about everything, plus minus everything about myself. So you can bindas tell me what you feel.
Okay, so what I can say is that certain things which you don't like, you push them to the last minute. You work under deadline pressure. Okay, and sometimes if someone is very critical of you, you feel hurt, but you don't express it that easily. And I would say at times you tend to jump the gun, as in, like, if someone did something, you might draw conclusions too quickly about them, but later you find out, no, this person, no, because of certain family problem or something, might was not able to come on time, or did this some other reason. Then, so yeah, I mean, you get, like, you're very clear on whom you like and whom you don't like. That I'm sure. So I'm a little bit scared of you, because something might upset you, and then you know.
No, no, absolutely not. Usually for feedbacks, I personally, when I'm taking feedback, I'm more keen on areas of improvement. That's the reason I asked. Thank you so much. Now, my next question to you, Devanshu.
Yeah.
We very clearly understood that handwriting talks or tells about personality. Can it happen the other way around? Can we change the personality
Hmm.
by changing the handwriting?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you see scientifically also, it is possible. And because like, there have been experiments where they've taken a chimpanzee's finger, and they've made the chimpanzee, do move their finger 10,000 times in a specific way. So there was a specific uh, nerve that got implemented. And even if now there's a recent conference where Elon Musk, he implanted 3 pigs with this neural link, basically. So anytime the activity in the limbs of the pig used to happen, there was a specific marker that came down. So there is a correlation where at times when you would see, when you're writing something, and after a long time your writing, will definitely be a little different. And when you're ill, your writing will be a little bit more different than or if you have gone through a lot traumatic incident, so the writing is completely changed, I mean, to a certain extent. So yeah, like, if you change your writing, definitely there will be changes, but it has to be done very carefully, because you try to change your writing too much too fast and not in a proper sequence, then it can lead to a lot of chaos. Because one of the people that I worked with, there's one incident, in fact, that uh, the there was a brilliant student. I'll not take his name. He used to get really good marks, but when he went to the next class, he used to write very small. So the new teacher, when she saw his writing, she couldn't read. So she said, if you don't write larger, I'm going to cut your marks. So he started writing really, changed his writing, right, little, made it more larger. So what happened was that his marks, like, he was scoring in the 90s. So now his writing came down. He started getting 80s and then 70s. So I mean, after that, they took him to a handwriting expert. So there he started writing small, then he suddenly changed his writing to larger. So we understood that there was this problem with him, that and then it got addressed by the school. So a lot of times what happens is, many students, they start copying their friends handwriting, so that also has an adverse effect.
What we understood from your last answer is that changing the handwriting suddenly or drastically or with force might also have an adverse effect on the personality. But even many of my students also ask, they lack this self confidence, they want to be more assertive, they want to be more optimistic. Can we bring small changes in our writing? Let's now focus on English, so that these things can be taken care of. What are the tips you will give these people?
certain strokes that are there that you can sit with a handwriting expert like myself or with anyone whom you're comfortable with. And you have to understand this is handwriting and not calligraphy. This thing, it's a very precise thing that needs to be done, and it's not always recommended because let me try and explain that in every case a handwriting change is not always recommended. It is one of the easiest ways to develop confidence, optimism, but it also has to come up with positive work from the student side. So I'll give you an example. A student is going to write an exam, and so he's underconfident, but he studies. He would still score certain amount of good marks. Okay. Now, someone who is confident but has not studied well, uh, he wouldn't score that much marks. Okay, even though he feels self-confident. So, being self-confident and putting the work in both go hand in hand. There are certain changes that needs to happen within oneself. Like self-confidence comes from doing thing many times. Like if you've studied really well, or you have got certain confidence on of your certain skills, or you're doing affirmations and you're taking actions, so that builds self-confidence naturally. Yeah, so there are certain methods, but I would suggest to anyone who is looking to make this change to work with an expert on this, because doing it by yourself is like almost doing a surgery on yourself.
The reason for asking this question was, Devanshu, you said when you read that, the book which your father, which you took from your father and read that, you also brought about small changes in your style of writing. So that's where the question came from.
Yeah, so there what happens is that, you once you make a change, like if I say, okay, change this letter, okay, so I'm not recommending you change any letter right now. But if I say a certain letter and a person makes changes, so they would definitely see very positive change within 3 weeks time. And then what happens is, once you get that, it is almost like uh, you want to change more letters because you want to change things more faster within yourself. So there lies the danger, because you just want to feel good about yourself, feel confident about yourself, but if I'm not putting the work in which is required, then that self-confidence or optimism is of no use, right? So
Absolutely
yeah,
agree with your point. Absolutely
yeah,
agree. I mean, these can act as supplements, but these cannot be the only thing which you will depend upon. I agree
yeah,
with you.
correct. So if you're taking supplements, you have to do bodybuilding also. You can't just take supplements and sit there, right?
Absolutely. Lovely. All right, so what do you think of, because of the technology and the mobile phones and so many things, even young kids nowadays, writing habit is going. That's what I feel. I have a habit of writing, daily
Correct.
task sheet, so that's why at least 3 or 4 sentences every single day I write. But many of my age group, I am sure they don't
Hmm.
write. They have forgot how to write itself. Okay, so what do you think? How is this trend?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that question in. I get this question a lot that no, nowadays no one is writing, everyone is typing and texting. So how is handwriting applicable now? Okay. So more than ever, this is my belief that handwriting is very much important, especially right now, because it you have to understand that handwriting is about 3,000 plus years old, and almost as much as mankind is. Like there are specific caves which saw writing on the wall and painting and everything. So you're we are letting go of something which is been there for as much as mankind is there. So the development of, if you understand the science behind handwriting, it's a lot of the neuro pathways that we have been developed because of writing. So there are gross motor skills and there is fine motor skills. When you're using your shoulder, there is gross motor skills. When you're using your fingers, there's fine motor skills. So it's very important that children paint and do a lot of things with their fingers, write, very important. And writing is a very therapeutic activity. It really helps person to put things on paper, and a lot of positive impact. There is almost no negative impact of handwriting that is there. So there it is out of fashion to a certain extent, but now if you see any successful person that is there, even Sushant used to fill diaries. There are many celebrities and very successful people who use pen and diaries and books. Oh, even when they can buy the most expensive phones and laptops and do many things. So they definitely know something that we don't. And I try and write as much as possible on plans and do so many things, because it's very easy to if you can think something and say something and not be very serious about it. But when I write something, I'm really serious about it and I take action towards it. So that is the difference that is there. So technology is always there. It will always be there. But handwriting has been such an integral part of our culture, especially our Indian culture, that we have to safeguard it as much as possible. Because handwriting, language, if you take it, yeah, it's very critical to how India became one of the most developed economies in the world.
I definitely agree with what you said. Writing is commitment. I always say, when you set your goals, please write it and don't type and keep it somewhere in your
Yeah,
laptop. Please write it down. It's like committing to your
correct.
goals. I
Yeah,
absolutely agree with you. Tell me one thing, Devansh.
yeah.
Some of my students usually say my handwriting is very bad, and that's why they usually avoid writing and they go to typing, etc. What do you say about it?
See, handwriting is uh, if I would take my story, my handwriting was pretty bad when I was growing up. So my mom used to say that when you become a big officer, your handwriting is like jalebi. So anyone who reads that, they'll make fun of you. So yeah, so that was there with me. And yeah, it takes an effort to write. So uh, most of the toppers that you see, people who are doing well academically, they tend to make notes. So when we ask students who are backbenchers, like they always ask, okay, so I was also a backbencher, so don't feel bad about that. So they always used to make notes. So people who are like serious about studies, they make notes and they write. If you'll always see, and when we have to study for exam, we ask them for the note. So they are writing means they have definitely no, it really enters and registers. So uh, yeah, in your mind. So when you're writing an exam, it is like practice. uh, what I would say is that students should always, while reading, also keep short notes and write something, because it really helps your memory. And it also is a practice for exams. Like, for example, if I'm going to in uh, run a marathon, I will start practicing for it. I can't just enter just like that and expect to finish the exam. So that's what happens, is that last 5 minutes of the exam, students have not written. So as much, because there is no practice, so it's like a muscle. So once you start writing at least a half a page a day or a couple of pages a day, it really helps you to retain a lot of information within yourself.
Very true, very true. And if any of the audience wants to get in touch with you to, get their handwritings analyzed or learn about graphology in general, so how can they do that? Tell us a little more about Handwriting International.
Yeah, so Handwriting International was formed in 2014, and the idea there was to not only impact the science of take the science of handwriting to students and to corporates, but also develop a good habit of writing your goals and do so many things, because uh, writing is in a way very therapeutic, and a lot of people who have gone through depression and a lot of difficulties, when they start writing journals and emotions, and so it really helps their positively impact their life. In fact, a lot of psychologists recommend that you keep a diary with yourself. And our mission is to elevate uh, mankind using the science of handwriting and handwriting analysis. It's a very broad subject that is there, and yeah, we have to bring back, keep and improve our culture, which is being eroded because of convenience and westernism, which is definitely, we have to upgrade and develop ourselves to the modern times, but we should not forget of our culture, which is very much important right now.
How can people get in touch? So you have a website?
Yes, so our website is under maintenance at the moment. People can reach me on Facebook or Instagram. LinkedIn is very easy to find me, Devanshu Vallabh. So people can message me, or if they can connect with you, you can share my contact number with them.
Definitely. And what are the kind of services you give for corporates?
So for corporates, we provide psychometric analysis for individuals, which is being used by background verification companies such as Verifax, and some of the top companies use handwriting services. I've worked with Deloitte, and so we provide personality tests. So before hiring, what happens is, or uh, during like if you have a workforce, so everyone has got their own different personality and personality traits. So what we do is, two things that we offer is, one is we come down and we analyze everyone, like 30 to about 50 analysis we can do in a day, per person, per organization. And we also provide reports, individual reports on people. So if you have a, if you value, someone really values their employees, and they, we can give them reports, like how to treat them and what are their strengths, weaknesses, which really gives a positive impact for an organization, because about 60% of the companies in France, Israel, and 3,000 businesses in UK use services of handwriting experts like me.
Superb. So if someone is interested to learn a little more about graphology, so which is the source you would recommend them to?
So you can get a good book on handwriting analysis. There are so many books that are available. We offer a certification course on handwriting analysis. So first important thing is that you need to be little, I mean, it's a more of a practice science, that I would say, than just reading it. So if you are really interested, you can reach out like to Handwriting International, because we've trained a lot of HRs and corporates on handwriting analysis, and they have seen a positive impact on their organization.
Devanshu, the kind of audience we have, they are usually final year or pre-final year students in graduation, post-graduation, or corporate professionals or potential entrepreneurs. Any closing words from your side for all these people who are watching you right now?
If I have to really say that, if you want to make a positive impact in your life, get a journal today and start noting down your daily activities and what are your goals, and all the positive things that are there, things that you're grateful for. Uh, Handwriting has been really an important tool that we have used, uh, I've personally used in my life. And right now, with the challenges that we are going through, if you can write down the particular goals that you have, and put down things that you're going to take action towards self, that I have seen manifest a lot. Because you see, Sushant, he was no one like, but he was very clear in terms of his goals. He wrote down about 50 goals, and he achieved most of those goals. And he used to write diaries, he used to do a lot of things, no, in terms of his planning and writing. So if you are really serious about becoming successful in any sphere and being happy and creating a positive impact, start writing at least a page a day about what you're grateful for first. Second is, what are your goals, short term goals, maybe 1 year till the end of 2020. And third important thing is, what are the daily activities or actions you're going to take, because that shows you how serious you are. So if I'm serious about it, I'll start taking action towards it. So first commitment is, in writing, and next commitment is taking action.
Thank you so much, Devanshu. It was such a pleasure to have you. I am a behavioral trainer myself. I keep talking about goal setting, being assertive, optimistic,
Yeah.
so many things. And through handwriting analysis, all these things I feel have come out absolutely well. And it was pure pleasure to talk to you and reiterate these things through handwriting analysis. Had a great time with you, and I hope all the viewers who are watching you right now would take a lot of learnings from this second episode of Spark. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Arun. Pleasure.